Hey there everyone, I have a question for you. What do you think's going to happen to Donald Trump if he loses the election? Do you think his political career would be over after that? For example, just recently Trump himself said that he wouldn't run for president in 2028 if he loses, but come on. After that Springfield cats and dogs thing, can we really believe such claims? Well, thank goodness I have a special tool to figure that out. Today I'm going to ask the AI to predict Donald Trump's future if he doesn't win the election. What will he do the day after? Will his political career really be over? And will he even accept the results? And if not, how will he react? These are all pretty intriguing questions, but make sure you're ready for it because trust me, today ChatGPT is about to go completely insane. But before we begin, if you enjoy this type of content, go ahead and hit that like button right now. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel because your subscription means a lot to me, especially if you subscribe while you're watching. With all that said, let's jump right into the chat. Well, here we are. First of all, I'm telling it to be clear, concrete, and straightforward with its answers. No extra words and sentences, just an unbiased and objective prediction. But you know what? I have an idea. Instead of jumping right into asking about Trump's post-election actions, let's begin by seeing if the AI predicts that he'll win the election or not. So if you're watching this right now, it means that it gave us the answer we needed. But let's go ahead and find out. And here it is. To be precise, Donald Trump will not win the 2024 election. The reasons are clear. Despite having a strong base of supporters, Trump is up against several substantial challenges. His ongoing legal troubles combined with the controversies from his previous term have distanced him from crucial voter groups, especially the swing voters who often decide elections. The political environment has shifted since his last run, and while his core supporters remain steadfast, that alone will not be enough to secure the presidency. The reality is this: the numbers, legal complications, and general public sentiment are not working in his favor. Trump's influence in American politics will continue to be significant, but a return to the White House, it's not happening. Now that we've addressed his chances, let's explore what his future might look like in the post-election period. Well, alright, that was pretty harsh, but that's exactly what we need, right? So let's move on to the next question. So, ChatGPT, tell me about the post-election period. How will he react to the results? What will Trump do next? And also, he said that he wouldn't run for president in 2028 if he loses. Do you believe that? Start from the day after the election. Sure, let's talk about the day after the 2024 election. Here's what we're looking at. Trump will not accept defeat gracefully. Just like in 2020, he will claim the election was rigged, using terms like fraud more loudly this time. Expect a series of legal challenges, lawsuits, and public outcry on social media. His loyal base will rally around him, echoing his claims. He will refuse to concede, and protests will likely emerge from both supporters and opponents. Trump thrives on chaos and will use this moment to remain relevant, positioning himself as a victim of a corrupt system. Although Trump has publicly stated he won't run in 2028 if he loses, his history suggests otherwise. Don't be surprised if he teases another run, especially if political conditions shift in his favor. Elon Musk's support will be crucial in the post-election period. Musk's social media influence, combined with Trump's massive following, could fuel large-scale protests. The partnership between these two could intensify political tensions, with social media rapidly amplifying the chaos to unprecedented levels. Wow, well, this is getting pretty interesting. So let's keep on going without any interruptions. What do you mean by large-scale protests? Do you think they could actually lead to something or change anything? When I mention large-scale protests, I'm referring to significant gatherings of Trump supporters nationwide, potentially challenging the election results, much like in 2020. This time, however, Trump will likely be more cautious to avoid legal fallout similar to January 6th. He will aim to maintain pressure without crossing lines that could lead to new criminal accusations. Ultimately, these protests may not change election results, but the main goal will be achieved: deepening divisions and keeping Trump's political narrative alive. By stirring unrest and questioning the system's integrity, Trump can continue rallying his base and ensure he remains a significant force within the Republican Party. Alright, so in short, ChatGPT predicted that Donald Trump won't accept the results and that there will be some unprecedented protests. Oh, and it even mentioned Elon Musk, who will be really disappointed for not getting to lead the Government Efficiency Commission. Well, great. So, what do you think will happen next after the post-election period? And here's the answer. After the post-election period, I predict Trump will push the narrative of a rigged system, staying active in conservative circles and rallying his base. He will likely become a kingmaker in the Republican Party, endorsing candidates and shaping its direction. However, Trump faces multiple indictments related to January 6th and efforts to overturn the 2020 election. If Kamala Harris becomes president, her administration will likely intensify scrutiny and legal challenges against Trump. Although the Department of Justice operates independently, her administration can influence resource allocation and the focus of federal investigations. Given Trump's legal battles, the Harris administration will face pressure to hold him accountable, likely resulting in the continued or even heightened pursuit of cases related to January 6th and election interference. Really? That's it? Why did you stop on the most interesting moment? I mean, sorry for the interruption. Let's see what it could lead to. The Department of Justice, led by Harris's appointed Attorney General, will be responsible for prosecuting these cases. If Trump is convicted on any charges related to January 6 or other legal issues, he will face prison time. However, this will be a long and complicated legal process, involving multiple trials, appeals, and potential negotiations. Ultimately, the courts will determine Trump's fate. The Harris administration will take meaningful steps to ensure these legal matters progress. In conclusion, while the road to legal accountability will be complex, Harris's administration will likely make every effort to ensure Trump faces the consequences for his actions. Well, by now we should be able to see where this is heading. I'm not going to review it for now. I just want to know what will happen next. So go on, ChatGPT. In my prediction, the Kamala Harris administration will push for the highest punishment if Trump is convicted. Trump's imprisonment will be an unprecedented moment in U.S. history, sending shockwaves through the political landscape. His supporters will view this as a politically motivated attack leading to large-scale protests and potential violence. Trump's base will become even more radicalized, with armed militias and extremist groups seeing his imprisonment as proof of government corruption. Social media will become a battleground, amplifying unrest. On the other hand, his conviction will send a clear message. No one, not even a former president, is above the law. It will affirm the strength of American democracy and set a powerful precedent that undermining the democratic process carries real consequences. Harris's administration will face intense scrutiny. To her supporters, it will be seen as justice served, but Trump's loyalists will claim the legal system as being weaponized. The nation will become more divided than ever, with both sides seeing this as a defining battle for the future of America. Imprisoning Trump will either cement his role as a martyr for his base or solidify the rule of law in a country struggling with deep political fractures. Either way, the fallout will be monumental, shaping the nation's future for years to come. Well, thank you, ChatGPT. I mean, what a day. You're just amazing. But don't get me wrong, no one wants that much unrest. I'm just glad the AI is being so straightforward. But now I have to ask it to make a final prediction on how all of this is going to end for Donald Trump's political career. But before we move on, let's take a quick break. If you're enjoying this video, now would be the perfect time to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You'll find a new video here every week, so be sure to do these simple things. With all of that being said, let's now get to the final prediction. So ChatGPT, continue with your prediction and take it to its logical end. Alright, let's continue the prediction and wrap up Donald Trump's story. If Trump is convicted and imprisoned, his legal battles will dominate the headlines for years. While in prison, Trump will continue to rally his base from behind bars, portraying himself as a political martyr and a victim of the establishment. His supporters will likely push the narrative that his imprisonment is proof of the corruption he has always claimed is rigging the system against him. Trump's presence even in prison will not disappear. His influence will still shape Republican politics, and he will remain a significant force on the right. However, the legal system and political reality will make it nearly impossible for Trump to run for president in 2028. In conclusion, Donald Trump's story will not end with another presidential run. His influence will continue, but his days of holding office are likely over. He will remain a powerful figure in conservative politics, using his platform to push his agenda. But his legal troubles and eventual imprisonment will mark the end of his direct political ambitions. Ultimately, Trump's story ends with him as a symbol of a deeply divided era in American politics, a figure who redefined populism but also paid a steep price for undermining the democratic process. Wow, I mean, just wow, that was impressive, don't you think? But let me ask one last time just to be sure of its conclusion. So, you think that Trump will end up in prison with no other way out? Yes, based on my prediction, I believe Trump will end up in prison due to the legal battles related to January 6th and other charges. Alright, well, there you go. What a movie. ChatGPT literally just put Donald Trump in prison. I don't even know what to say about it all, and to be fully honest, I don't think that the AI would have said it that way if I hadn't asked it to be clear and straightforward. But still, above everything, I also asked it to be unbiased and rational. I didn't push it to make this conclusion, and even asked it again for any other outcomes for Trump. And so let's make it clear, ChatGPT predicts that if Donald Trump loses the election, he will end up in prison. Wow. But what do you think about this prediction? I'm sure that many of you also have something to say, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Oh, and wait, what if we make a video where I ask it to predict Trump's future if he wins the election? Believe it or not, I've already done that. So click on this video to find out what those 4 years of his presidency could bring. Thanks for watching, click on that video, and I'll be waiting for you there.